I'm going to show you guys how to restore Titanus to its original appearance of King Brachion. Now, if you already have seen our review on Titanus, you will already remember that there were a couple of alterations done to Titanus. Now, the main biggest change from Titanus was this, the original bay door cover. Now, for whatever reason, Bandai wanted to add, gold paint. Nowadays, that doesn't happen anymore. King Brachion originally had gold, didn't have any gold paint here, and it was just simply, the original designs. So I'm going to show you exactly how to remove this gold paint without damaging the plastic, and also with relatively simple items. First things you need to know is you have to get a product called Easy Off Oven Cleaner. It comes in a spray can, and you have to also specifically get the yellow top, because this is the heavy duty one. There's other various colored tops, blue version, red version. This is the strongest one. This will actually remove the paint on Titanus's bay door without damaging the plastic. Other things you'll need is a cleaning brush to get off any extra residue after the solvent has removed the gold paint. Gloves, because the Easy Oven material is corrosive and it will actually burn your skin, irritated and so. You'll need a Phillips screwdriver to remove any extra parts. Now, before you actually begin spraying Titanus's part, first of all, you got to remove anything on Titanus's bay door. For example, if you had the repo labor stickers already applied, you'll have to remove them, which is fairly easy. But also, you have to remember to remove the bay door's locking clasps. If you know on Titanus's bay doors, it has 4 pins and stuff on the side. They're simply plastic pleats with springs. Now, you don't really have to do this, but out of precaution, I'd rather you remove them because they may rust over time and be damaged when you're trying to spray or clean them off with water. Next you'll need also is a Ziploc bag or any kind of bag that's big enough to hold the Titanus faceplate. And all you got to do is put it inside the bag. You use the bag to basically put the solvent in and keep it safe and airtight while it's removing the paint. The first thing you do basically is you put the Titanus back plate inside the bag and use the Easy Spray Off. Basically coat it as much as you can. This will not damage the actual plastic. It will only eat away at the material. This will take around roughly 2 to 3 hours, so give it a time. And of course, try to remove all the air out of the bag so that it doesn't actually dry out the solvent. Now, while we wait for the solvent to remove the paint, let's talk about the Titanus chains. This was another alteration done to Titanus, was that we replaced the original chains that were gold to silver. Now, there are a couple of ways to actually deal with this. One, you can actually go to a hobby store or someplace that sells chains and replace it with, a gold hoop. Another option you can do is use a product called Krylon X Metal Gold, which you'll basically spray paint the gold material onto the original silver material and turn this into gold. However, the original chains used on Titanus are not actually identical to the Japanese version. The rings are fatter on the American one, and the chain itself is actually, has this curved motif, while on the original Japanese one, it looks more like a traditional metal chain. Another option you can do is that if you're able to locate a used or, busted O-Ranger Robo, the Japanese one, not the American Z Omega Sword, because that one doesn't come with the chain. The chain used in the O-Ranger Robo's feet actually are identical to the King Brachion. While you won't have the gold hoops, you'll have the original chain designed for King Brachion. Now, I also like to cover some of the stickers that I forgot to talk about in my original Titanus repo video. In the original review, I never talk about these red arrows over here. Now, a lot of you may not actually know what these were from. These stickers were made specifically to make it look like the studio prop. If you look at photographs on the studio prop, you'll notice that there are red stickers across the entire top, bay door, and the rear part where the tail pieces connect to. Those are where all the red arrows actually go on. Unfortunately, the glue they use on the sheet is really weak, and it doesn't actually stick that well, so over time the stickers do peel off, and I have actually lost some. The repo sheet does give you extra red arrows. Titanus only needs 10, the sheet has 12. I suggest you use a super glue, specifically a super glue that it has brush on. You either brush the plastic itself or brush the stickers themselves in order to keep them on. After 2 hours, remove the bay door from the bag. This is when you put on the gloves. It won't burn you, but it will cause itching. With a toothbrush, scrub very hard on the plastic. It may take a long time. For me, I scrubbed for about 10 minutes. After you're done, rinse the part under cold water. This will stop the chemical reaction with the cleaner. You can remove your gloves now and resume scrubbing under the cold water. Remember, don't just rinse the cleaner off, then start scrubbing. You need to scrub it while the chemicals are still in place on the plastic, or you won't be able to get the paint off in between the grooves. Once you're done with the bay door, let it dry for 2 minutes or so. The main reason is because if it's wet, you may not notice that it actually still has too much more paint or not. So when you let it dry, you'll see if there's paint or not paint on it. This process varies. Some people have gotten the paint off after the very first try and single scraping, but for me, I took over 5 tries and about an hour worth of scraping between the 5 times. It's not going to be 100% perfect, but the majority of the paint will be gone. If you have to repeat the process multiple times, eventually the paint will come off. Once you're satisfied with what you've done, simply reapply all the screws and springs and stuff, close the lid, and reapply or apply 2 of the red arrows between the first and second notches on the back of the bay door. Thanks again for watching. I hope you found this small tutorial very helpful in restoring Titanus to its original appearance. I'm Archer9234. See you in the future for more specials.